wanted to speak to you today about a very subtle form of identity that forms. We have known as light workers that our destiny lies to move beyond identifying with the egoic self, with the ego, with the little self. Most identity that we identify as that which we need to rise above has to do with our relationship vis-a-vis the external world. So when we look at what identity is to us, it normally means labels, personal history, personal identity that we assume based on our experiences, in other words, the story of our lives, based on how others see us, or based on how we see ourselves. The story is bound to the history of our life. We do not realize that what history is simply those parts of beingness that we are not shining the light on. The light shines on the present moment. The other lies in subliminal light, inactive, like notes on the piano that we have not yet played. And so, as we identify with the past, we lock it into place, because one building block of life changes. All the building blocks of life change. This is the case with us as well. When this moment changes because we live it magnificently, all else changes as well. All that went before, all that is yet to come. And therefore, that which we're holding on to is a phantom that creates ghosts in our lives, ghosts of the past. And thus, if we just allow this moment to be stretched into eternity, no past, no future, we do not identify with the story. We shun labels that others give us, thinking that we are a certain way when we are not. We are completely unfathomable because we are beings as vast as existence, having a human experience. But as we get rid of these labels, identities, how we see ourselves, how others see us, we are getting rid of what we can call an external identity, how we see ourselves vis-a-vis the rest of the world. But there is a more subtle form of identity we can call our anchoring point, our reference point. Oftentimes we have used the words, come home to yourself, come home to the true core of yourself. It is meant in a different way than what it has been taken. But let us start to explain what is not what we mean. The inner identities that we form are based on labeling our feelings. It is this, but it is not that. It is this kind of emotion that I feel when I listen to opera music. It is this kind of emotion I feel when I listen to rap music. We identify by our inner feelings. And although we don't give a specific label to it, we yet identify with it in the form of knowing what we feel, labeling what we feel for ourselves, not a label for others, but we label inwardly. This way of identifying is more subtle, but it still makes us a reference point. We are these feelings, we are not those feelings. And as such, creates the world around us as a mirror, because that is what identity does. When the world is a mirror, it mirrors backwards to us. And again, when that is the case, our life is filled with opposition. The interesting thing of it is, in looking at these two different forms of identity, inner and outer identity, you will find that those in life who seem to have everything on the outside, everything is provided, they have massive mansions, they have ample money to do whatever they want, it seems that they live a very privileged life. You cannot enhance one pole and not rob the other pole. That is the nature of living in polarity. Inner reality, outer reality. That creates reality that is based on duality. So it has poles. And polarity is a back and forth like children on a seesaw, or what Americans call a teeter-totter, where they go up and they go down and they go up and they go down. When the other one goes up, the other child goes down. This is the nature of polarity. When somebody has everything on the outside, where does their strife and their opposition and their tension lie? Inwardly. That is why so many very affluent and seemingly successful celebrities are drug addicts, alcoholics, or manic depressive. Very many different things happen when there is that much on the exterior and you then have your strife within. If you have peace within, often strife comes without. And this has made us feel that life is not supportive of who we are. And this is something we just discussed in the very last show of Awakening from the Dream. We have now the need to move beyond inner identity as well as outer identity. How do we do that? By embracing fathomlessness. Fathomlessness is that which has no name. It feels, but it does not identify. It desires, but it does not want. It simply allows things to rise and fall. It gets perception, but it doesn't hold on to it. It is only the moment's perception. It is not a body of wisdom that builds and drags the old behind it. And so it experiences life, which is the only way the moment can fully be known, is experiential knowingness at every level. And then it lets it go. No analysis, nothing. It embraces not knowing, not feeling, yet it feels and it knows. It has become fathomlessness. Something that is incomprehensible, indivisible, undefinable.